Two consecutive defeats have been incredibly painful for Arsenal. After all we've seen, it doesn't entirely support the idea that Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have the grit and personality needed to win the Premier League. Meanwhile, the entire City dressing room is now reminding themselves, saying, "We've been in this position before. We've been behind Arsenal and we've overtaken them. We've seen this rivalry before." In the 2022-23 season, they'd thrown away an 8-point lead after 29 games, twice in recent seasons. They let Manchester City catch them, and now it's starting to feel familiar again. Currently, Arsenal and Manchester City are tied at the top of the league on 70 points. It's certainly not a comfortable situation for the Gunners, but this is the real worry. Arsenal have taken just 6 points from a possible 12 in their last 4 Premier League games. They've lost to Bournemouth at the Emirates and to Manchester City last week. Yes, they did beat Brighton and Everton, but then there were painful defeats to Bournemouth at home and Manchester City at the Etihad. That's not a title-winning performance, but rather a wavering of doubt, and it's a crack that's showing at the worst possible time. What they've done in those results is wake up a sleeping monster. Instead, Guardiola's Manchester City, returning to good form with 3 consecutive league wins and establishing the right rhythm at the right time. Doubts are now starting to creep in, and it seems Arsenal has become exactly what Mikel Arteta feared most. Yes, this is a team that's close to winning, but can't quite lift the trophy. The situation at Arsenal is starting to look very worrying. I mean, if City wins all their remaining games this season, they'll finish top of the table. But here's the difference. Arsenal have given themselves absolutely no room for error. One mistake and it's all over. And history isn't entirely on their side. For the past 4 seasons, every time we've seen the league with 10 games remaining, Manchester City has always finished stronger than Arsenal. It doesn't matter whether City are chasing or leading, Guardiola's team has consistently found better form in the final stages. Arsenal, meanwhile, haven't. From this point in the 2021-2022 season onward, City have consistently collected more points than the Gunners. That's no coincidence, and there are still many games to play. It's not a mathematical calculation, but trends and patterns are important. And now, the pattern suggests Arsenal are slowing down when it matters most. If they don't break that cycle this year, the wait will continue, meaning 23 years without a Premier League title. And that's not pressure, but history weighing on their shoulders. Arsenal have gone through a very positive transition, and that's undeniable. But when you look more closely at the timeline, you begin to see a somewhat unsettling pattern. To reinforce this suspicion, let's go back to the 2021-2022 season. Arsenal were the youngest team in the Premier League, with an average age of just 24. They weren't really in the title race, but rather fighting for European qualification. Meanwhile, despite intense pressure from Liverpool, Manchester City spent the entire second half of the season at the top of the table and won the league by just 1 point. In the final 12 games of the season, Guardiola's team collected 31 points, while Arsenal's tally was 18. That was the start of City's historic treble-winning campaign, winning the Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League, and Arsenal watched on. Then came the 2023-24 season, one of the tightest title races in recent memory. Arsenal, City, and Liverpool were separated by just a point or two for months. The Gunners even led the table several times in May. It felt like their year, the right confidence, the right momentum, but once again, it wasn't enough. City held a narrow lead. Guardiola's side had only picked up 1 point more than Arsenal in their final 12 games, but it was enough. A win over West Ham on the final day secured a 4th consecutive Premier League title. Then, in the 2024-25 season, with Manchester City faltering early, the race became directly between Liverpool and Arsenal. Arteta's team had been in second place since December, but the late-season slump really set in, including a painful 2-1 home defeat to Bournemouth, which allowed the Reds to go ahead and win the league by 10 points. And here's the surprising thing. Even after dropping to 7th just before Christmas, Manchester City still finished the season stronger than Arsenal. City collected 27 points in their final 12 games, while Mikel Arteta's side collected 21 points. City finished third, just 3 points behind the Gunners. So Arsenal have grown, they've matured, and they've become genuine contenders. But as the season reaches its final stages, when it becomes all about grit, mentality, and killer instinct, history suggests they fade. And that's what Mikel Arteta has always feared. He's delivered 3 consecutive second-place finishes, and he's staring at the very real possibility of squandering another golden opportunity to finally lift the Premier League trophy. And as we've seen before, that second-half pattern keeps reappearing. It's like a bad habit Arsenal can't shake. The Gunners have now won just 2 of their last 4 Premier League games, and in that run, they've squandered leads against Manchester United, Brentford, and Wolves. That's not just unlucky, it's starting to become worrying after their impressive start to the season. Before the defeat to United in January, Arsenal had scored first in each of their 13 league games and won every one they'd taken the lead. Essentially, the game was over, calm, collected, and professional. But that authority's gone. Now you can see their nerves and feel the pressure. Every year without a league title feels like a heavy burden, and it shows on the players as well as on Arteta's sidelines. The tension is different now. And this is the statistic that should really worry Arsenal fans. This is the first time in Premier League history that a team starting the day at the bottom has avoided defeat against a team starting the day at the top after trailing by 2 or more goals. The Arsenal board has warned Arteta that there are no excuses for a trophyless season. After spending so much money, they expect a major trophy or a Premier League title. For Arsenal fans, this only increases the tension and the belief that Arsenal will fail again. And frankly, they're not wrong. Since Arteta took over, Arsenal have invested around £920 million. That's not a rebuild, it's a massive transformation. And this season, the Gunners have gone absolutely crazy in the transfer market. Around £250 million has been spent on improving what Arteta needs: control in midfield and a killer instinct up front. Because defensively, Arsenal have built arguably the best defense in Europe for 3 consecutive seasons. With strong management support, good squad depth, and long-term stability, Arteta should realize that without prestigious titles, it would be a big failure.